And for my art piece, I chose The Tower of Babel by Pieter Bruegel the Elder. The reason I chose this piece is because it captivated me with its intense details and symbolism. I think that this art piece was heavily influenced by the Roman art style, especially since Peter spent time in Rome from 1552 to 1553, where he made another Tower of Babel painting. You can see this with the countless arches in the architecture in this painting, as well as other engineering that the Romans would have used. I also see that the tower is reminiscent of a Roman Colosseum, and during that time frame, Christians saw this as a symbol of persecution and hubris, which is important to the overall story. You can also see that this piece isn't only focusing on the tower, there's another focal point, and that's King Nimrod in the left-hand corner. He would have been the king of Babylon in this time period, and Roman art tends to focus on the civic leaders as well as emperors. Another Roman style aspect is that people in this painting seem to have idolized proportions, which is commonly found in the Roman and Greek art. Now, getting to the tower itself, I think that Peter uses a lot of depth and tone in order to really show how large this tower was compared to the surrounding city and landscape. He uses a dark shading to really give the idea that this giant tower has a giant cast shadow, especially directly behind the tower, opposite side of where the sun is pointing at it. Peter also uses light shading on the tower to make it pop out more than the surrounding city. He also painted a soft glowing hue on the tower as if to imply that the tower is facing the sun. I think he did this as well as making the city more subdued and grayscale to really make the tower pop and stand out amidst this massive city and landscape, and show how magnificent this tower was really planned to be. Peter also painted the top of the tower with a red hue to symbolize the tower reaching the top of the skies and to the heavens. I also think he made the sky more subdued in order to make the top of the tower stand out more than the rest already having the red hue, again symbolizing that their goal was to reach the heavens. Although the humans' intent was to build a beautiful, magnificent tower to the heavens, I think Peter was also trying to convey that they ended up covering the true beauty, that being the beautiful city and the deep green landscape of their kingdom. They were so ambitious and fixated on reaching their goals and reaching the heavens without the help of a god that they in turn made their beautiful city quite suppressed and subdued. By building this massive tower that looks like it's crumbling and falling apart while they're building it, the only exception to this is, I'd say, the workers and the people near King Nimrod, who have bright, more vibrant colors, which I think Peter does this to catch your eyes and emphasize on the story of the Tower of Babel, which is that all races and ethnicities came together in one place and wanting to learn how to speak a universal language to build a giant city and to build a tower to the heavens. They wanted to show their accomplishments without the help of a god, but it ended up in failure and humankind's effort was futile in the end, and they were seemingly punished for their hubris and going against the gods. I think Peter was trying to convey the different races and ethnicities by making the workers on the hill pop out and showing how different they are, from the age ranges and the looks. I think Peter was also trying to convey the individual's fragility in this art piece by showing how little they are compared to this city and giant tower that they occupy. Like I mentioned earlier, as well as well as you can see, this tower has a texture seemingly crumbling and falling apart in many places, and I think Peter did this to convey that humankind was never meant to be able to build a tower to the heavens, that reaching heaven cannot be planned and done by mankind, and that we were punished for our hubris in doing so. Overall, I think Pieter Bruegel was trying to convey human ambition, diversity, and consequences of humankind's hubris for trying to build the Tower of Babel.